were sitting around dinner one night, and my dad says, "Hey, guess what I did today?" I said, "What's that?" And he said, "I went out and bought a Cessna 172.
Like I was saying, if you're number 2 and he moves, let's say he moves me up 5, then you're going to have to move up 10, sort of.
Because you're on the angle.
Executive traffic 6805, departing runway 31, the westbound turnout. Executive.
I guess I watched Top Gun a few too many times, and I was bound and determined that I was going to be a fighter pilot, and then spent 10 years flying the F-16 out of Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Roger that, go ahead and push to street 2212, push. Greg, I got you inside here below, I'm passing, leveling at 2,500. And Greg, we're running to 6 o'clock, about a quarter mile, still 2,500. And Greg, you can probably turn about 10 to the left, and I'm passing your 8 o'clock. Okay, roger that.
Growing up as a kid, I raced motocross and had gotten injured, and I think my parents were looking for a good Plan B activity for me that wasn't quite as dangerous. We were sitting around dinner one night, and my dad says, "Hey, guess what I did today?" I said, "What's that?" And he said, "I went out and bought a Cessna 172. So he had always had an interest in learning how to fly, and I had as well. So with the purchase of that 172, we started our flight training, and I guess, as they say, the rest is history.
I'm going to get across the top of the wing. I got the speed brakes out if you want to get a shot of that real quick. I'm going to bring them back in.
All right, I got a shot of it. Oh, it's nice flying with somebody who knows how it goes.
As we moved up through airplanes, we both moved up together. I was 15 years old when I started my flight training, and started out in the 172. And then we graduated to a Piper Seneca 2, and then from there bought other larger airplanes, and have finally ended up in the Premier like we fly now.
Executive traffic, Big D 805, taxi from the ramp to runway 31, executive.
Executive traffic, Bonanza 6074, Sierra Flight of 3, taking runway 31 for north eastbound departure, executive traffic. All right, Josh, you help me keep eyes on him, all right?
I will. Your final looks clear.
I guess I watched Top Gun a few too many times, and I was bound and determined that I was going to be a fighter pilot, and went out and joined the Air National Guard and got selected by Fort Wayne, Indiana to go to pilot training with the military in Del Rio, Texas at Laughlin, and then went off to F-16 training at MacDill Air Force Base, and then spent 10 years flying the F-16 out of Fort Wayne, Indiana with the Guard.
Okay, Greg, hold position. John, if you're nearby, if you can go ahead and have you start coming in.
Okay, where do you want me?
We're going to have you come in for the stack up shot. So Greg's right wing and then stacked up, or off to the right a little bit, stacked up.
So the whole thing with YouTube was we had gone into Telluride a few times, and since my dad was a pilot but wasn't along with me, I wanted to share the flight into Telluride. So Telluride sits up on a nice 9,000 foot plateau. It's the very scenic, kind of a box valley entry into the as you land into the airport there. So I wanted to share that view with them, so I filmed it. It was pretty rudimentary, put it up on YouTube, and basically for him to watch, and then started getting some other people watching these videos. Kind of had a little bit of fun with it. Back in the day, that was like iMovie, I think, was what I was doing it with.
Might like this sun right here.
You're not liking?
I think he might like it.
Oh, I gotcha. I know, I'm getting a good shot.
There's the sun. Sure is pretty seeing an airplane fly through the air, isn't it?
No, it is.
It's more about the places I go than it is the actual flights. And that's the perspective that I used when I filmed, was to just kind of show the locations. And then I'd get a lot of comments that are like, hey, we want to see the center panel up close for the entire flight. So I realized there was a lot of guys out there that want to see a lot more detail about the flying part of it and aren't as interested in the scenery. So I tried to kind of blend the two of those. And if you see, the format of my videos are to kind of take you on the entire flight. So start up, departure, up to cruise. If it's kind of quiet at cruise, I'll turn the cameras off, and then the descent in, all the way in to shutdown. And I think the other thing that happens is there's a lot of people who sit in the back of an airliner and they want to know what happens in the front of a jet.
Via the Austin for departure, San Antonio transition as followed. Maintain 4,000, expect flight level 320 within 10 minutes of departure.
And one thing that I really hope carries through in the videos is that I'm a very conservative pilot. I don't want to scare myself, let alone anybody else in the airplane. So I try to fly that way. I'm very methodical. Some people will say, hey, when you're flying, why aren't you talking more? Why aren't you teaching more? And I think that the one problem is that if you're not in the seat, you don't realize how much brain power gets devoted to just staying up with the airplane. And trying to talk your way through it while you're doing that is quite difficult. So again, in my videos, there's segments of time where I'll do a little bit of teaching, but there's other times where I'm just sitting there. It probably looks like I'm staring off into space, but no, I'm mentally trying to stay up with the airplane.
Glenn better not complain about the lighting.
No, this is perfect now.
I get a lot of questions from people about, oh, how can I get a ride in a jet? I'm totally into aviation. I'm doing my private pilot's license. Do you know anybody that I could ride with? And I think the answer is that most anybody would let you ride with them as long as they know who you are. So you got to go out there to the airport, make yourself known to those people, and you might have to wash a few airplanes to get a ride. And that's not a bad thing.
And down 10. Rolling level. Moving to trail. Up to 20. Roger that. We're heading 060. We are 7 miles from Executive. Are you guys okay to make it back home? Greg's good. Yeah, we're good. Roger that. I'm going to continue heading. You guys are clear to Executive. We appreciate your help, and we'll check you on the ground.
Roger that. Awesome, thanks a lot. Greg, we'll follow you in.
Okay, roger that. I'm at your 6. I'm just turning to heading south right now.
Okay, and we're heading back to Unicom frequency.
Okay, where is the airport?
I'm trying to get it in sight. I think I have it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep, it's at our 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Some of the best flying I've ever seen.
You like that?
I can't put myself in your shoes because I have no idea how you're keeping it right on them like that.
And John, I'm turning a 2 mile final now.
Roger. We got you inside.
500.
Thank you. I will take that landing any day in these kind of conditions.
Oh man, that was an exhausting flight. I don't think I've ever been so worn out in quite some time. Heavy turbulence, gusty winds, flying in formation with an airplane that's significantly slower than ours. That was a lot of work. I feel like I earned my money today.
All right, so we just did that an air-to-air flight with 2 Premier 1s. They're both 1s, right?
1As,
so,
yep.
Yeah, so 2 Premier 1s and a Beechcraft Bonanza A36. And when we were originally planning this thing, I was always kind of wondering, what speed are we going to be doing this at? Right. Is that Bonanza going to be firewalled and, we're going to be keeping up with him, or is it going to be the other way around? We maintain about, I guess it was 140, 150 the whole time.
Yeah.
This guy His name is Greg Mink. He's got the YouTube channel Premier1Driver. You need to go check it out. It's long videos that just kind of like they suck you in, and you're
like Dances with Wolves.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You're kind of like yeah, that's right. You're kind of immersed in the whole flight, and they're really cool because you get to sit there and literally see everything that goes on in the cockpit of a jet, and you kind of like you get to sit there and hear Greg talk to the cameras as if you're there, and it's a really cool experience. So really good videos. His name is Premier1Driver on YouTube. You definitely need to go check him out. This was some of the best flying that I've ever seen.
Good one.
Yeah, I've never seen any, like, he was just so concentrated the whole time, and I could just tell that, like, I didn't even want to be like, ooh, that was a good shot, because I didn't want to break his concentration. That was your military experience came out there, sir. That was.
Thank you. Well, it was fun having you along.
Yeah,
you were a lot
absolutely.
of fun. And you were useful in the cockpit.
Well,
too,
I hope so. I was buried in the camera most of the time, but I definitely, at least as my time as a video maker, a filmmaker, whatever you want to call me, the shots that I got on this flight were some of the most breathtaking shots and some of the best shots that I've gotten before. And something that Greg said in the middle of the flight, it kind of struck me. I mean, you're totally right about this, that seeing an airplane cut through the air is one of the most majestic things you can witness. And the thing is, we do it all the time, but we don't ever get to see it. We're never outside of the airplane. We don't get to see the airplane kind of in its environment and doing its thing and cutting through the sky. So we got to see 2 of those all day long.
That was pretty special.
Yeah, so I think it was a very successful flight. Absolute ace flying on your part and everybody's part. I mean, I was really blown away by that, how much you were doing, how much you were concentrating on, and just I was really blown away by it. So
well, thanks.
Appreciate the invite.
Yeah,
and I'm glad I could tag
along.
along. And yeah, I'll shake you with my left hand since I'm holding the camera with my right hand.
Exactly. Let's do it again.
That's absolutely. If you liked this video and you want to see more like it, definitely smash that like button, because the like to dislike ratio is how I determine whether the audience wants to see more videos like this or not. Also, I definitely recommend you go subscribe to Greg's YouTube channel, Premier1Driver on YouTube, and you can head over to Premier1Driver.com if you want some sweet merchandise like this polo shirt or this hat. I put a lot of heart and soul into making this video come together, and of course I couldn't have done it without the invitation from Greg to even tag along on this flight in the first place. But of course, producing this type of content with the nice cameras, nice lighting, and audio equipment isn't cheap. Patreon.com is a great platform that allows supporters to support their favorite creators by naming their price and pledging a certain amount of dollars per video. Based on how much you decide to pledge per video, you get certain perks like early access to videos before they go live on YouTube, and bonus access to footage that's not going to go live on YouTube. In the case of this video, the bonus footage is going to be the full-length interview with Greg and the unedited flight footage from the formation flight. If you want to learn more about supporting the channel and getting those extra perks, you can head over to patreon.com/MrAviation101 and learn more there. You can find links to all these resources down in the description, including Greg's YouTube channel and his merch store. Until next time, I wish you guys to stay happy, stay healthy, and stay current. We'll catch you later.